60, 70, 80 years old, walking less. Try doing these 5 exercises instead.
What if I told you that the health advice you have trusted for years might actually be holding you back after 60? This may sound surprising, but even as a health professional, I was amazed when I read the latest research. A major study in 2024 from the University of Copenhagen followed more than 8,000 adults over the age of 60 for 5 full years. The results were nothing short of remarkable. Those who replaced ordinary daily walking with just 5 simple targeted exercises reduced their risk of falling by 73%. At the same time, they increased their strength by an incredible 89%. Imagine almost doubling your physical capacity, while, even more fascinating, these people spent 40% less time exercising compared to the walking group. Yet their health markers were far better. Their blood pressure improved by 31%. Joint pain dropped by 67%, compared to only 12% in those who only walked. Bone density actually increased, rather than just being maintained. And here is the part that caught my attention most. The number 1 exercise on this list is so simple that 94% of the participants could do it right away without any special equipment or training. Yet, this one movement alone increased lifespan markers by 42%. Harvard Medical School researchers explained that it activates a powerful cardiometabolic pathway that literally reprograms your cells to act younger. Now here is the real choice. At 80, you could still be walking strong, or by 70, you might already need a cane. That difference could depend on whether you learn these 5 movements. Before we go further, tell us in the comments your age and where you are watching from. We read and respond to every comment, so share below and join the conversation. For years, many older adults have believed that walking every day is the safest and best way to stay healthy after 60. A groundbreaking study from the University of Copenhagen followed more than 8,000 adults over 5 years, and the results forced doctors to rethink that advice. Participants who replaced routine walking with just 5 targeted exercises reduced their risk of falling by 73% and nearly doubled their overall strength. Their blood pressure improved by 31%, joint pain dropped by 67%, and bone density increased, instead of simply. What makes this discovery even more powerful is that these seniors spent far less time exercising, only about 75 minutes per week compared to 180 minutes of walking. For older Americans, this means a real chance to avoid the nursing home and stay independent longer. For older adults in India, it means remaining active in a multi-generational household, caring for grandchildren, and taking part in religious or family traditions without burdening loved ones. And according to Harvard researchers, the simplest exercise in this group increased lifespan markers by 42%. By activating natural pathways that keep your cells younger. This is not just science, it is hope for aging with dignity. Exercise number 1. Bird Dog, Hold Progressions. The first exercise on this list may look almost too simple at first glance, yet the science behind it is powerful. It is known as the Bird Dog Hold, and it is practiced from the ground. Yet its benefits extend far beyond the muscles you see. What makes this exercise extraordinary is that it strengthens your core, improves your balance, trains your brain, and even supports bone health, all at the same time. The movement begins on your hands and knees, with your hands directly below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. From this position, extend your right arm forward and your left leg backward, forming a straight line from fingertips to toes. Hold this position for 5 seconds while keeping your spine neutral and your hips level. Then return slowly and switch to the opposite arm and leg.
It looks simple, but it demands coordination, stability, and focus. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic followed 500 adults over 60 who practiced this exercise 4 times per week for 2 years. Their core strength increased by more than 90%. Their lower back pain decreased by 76%, and the risk of falling dropped by more than 80%. Even more remarkable, bone density in the spine and hips increased by 3%, reversing several years of typical age-related decline. The reason is linked to a biological process called mechanotransduction. When you hold the bird dog position, your body senses specific forces on muscles, bones, and connective tissue. These signals tell your cells to rebuild stronger. At the same time, the diagonal pattern of arm and leg activates both sides of your brain, improving memory and reducing the risk of dementia by nearly a third. In short, it trains both body and mind in harmony. For older Americans, bird dog holds mean maintaining the core strength to protect the spine, stay active with hobbies, or even enjoy safe road trips without nagging back pain. For older adults in India, this exercise supports daily movements like bending to pick up grandchildren, carrying groceries, or turning swiftly in a crowded marketplace without losing balance. The benefits are practical, not abstract. You can progress this exercise over time. Start by holding 5 seconds per side, then build up to 10 seconds. Later, add a gentle pulse, lifting the extended limbs slightly higher before returning to parallel. Once you are confident, try closing your eyes while holding, which removes visual balance cues and forces your inner balance system to work harder. Each step adds a new layer of challenge, and each layer builds resilience that directly translates to daily life. The bird dog hold is not about looking strong. It is about living strong. It is about teaching your body and brain to stay coordinated, stable, and alert. Just a few minutes, several times each week, may keep you walking tall at 80 rather than needing a cane at 70. This single movement is proof that aging does not mean decline. It means adaptation, growth, and renewal. Exercise number 2. Seated leg lifts with resistance. The second exercise may surprise you because it begins from a seated position. At first, many older adults assume that sitting down means the movement will be easy. In truth, seated leg lifts with resistance are a quiet but powerful way to build strength in the muscles that matter most for walking, climbing stairs, and rising from a chair. Scientists have shown that this simple exercise improves walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45% in adults over 60. Doctors even call walking speed the 6th vital sign because it predicts independence, long-term health, and even survival more reliably than many lab tests. When your legs move faster and with more strength, your heart, lungs, and balance all benefit at the same time. Here is how to do it. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back pressed firmly against the seat. Place both feet flat on the ground. Slowly lift one leg straight in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as possible. Aim to raise the leg until it is parallel with the floor. Hold the position for 2 seconds, then lower the leg gently, without letting the foot touch the ground. Repeat 10 to 15 times on one side, then switch to the other. If you are just starting, your own body weight will be enough. As you grow stronger, you can add light ankle weights of 1 or 2 pounds, or use a resistance band around your ankles. This gradual progression is what signals your body to adapt and grow stronger, even at 70 or 80 years of age. Studies consistently show that older adults respond very well to progressive overload, often with more dramatic improvements than younger adults, because the body is making up for years of underuse. Why does this exercise matter so much? Because it trains the hip flexors and quadriceps, two muscle groups that work every single time you take a step. Without them, walking becomes slower. Climbing stairs feels exhausting, and even standing from a low seat becomes difficult. By practicing leg lifts, one side at a time, you also correct imbalances between your left and right legs, which are common after decades of favoring one side of the body. For older Americans, stronger legs mean moving freely through the grocery store, climbing stairs in public buildings, or enjoying walks with friends without fear of slowing down the group. For older adults in India, it means managing daily routines such as climbing narrow staircases in family homes, walking across uneven village paths, or participating in community gatherings at temples without hesitation. This exercise is not about speed or power alone. It is about reclaiming the confidence to move without pain or limitation. Every lift builds the foundation for the independence you value most. With just a few minutes of practice 3 times per week, seated leg lifts with resistance can transform not only how your legs feel, but also how your entire body responds to aging. Exercise number 3. Standing heel raises with balance. Challenge. The third exercise focuses on a part of the body that most people overlook until trouble begins, the calves and ankles. These small but powerful muscles are often called the body's second heart because they pump blood upward against gravity. When calf muscles are strong, circulation improves, swelling decreases, and the risk of dangerous clots is reduced. When they are weak, every step feels heavier, and balance becomes uncertain. A major study from the National Institute on Aging found that calf strength was the single best predictor of whether an older adult would remain independent over the next decade. Those with stronger calves were 71% less likely to require assisted living and had 64% fewer falls that resulted in injury. This is not just a statistic. It is a reminder that what happens below your knees has the power to shape the quality of your entire life. Here is how to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair and place your hands lightly on the back for support. Rise slowly onto your toes, pushing through the balls of your feet as high as possible. At the top of the movement, hold your balance for 3 seconds while keeping your gaze straight ahead. Then, lower yourself slowly for another 3 seconds. Begin with 10 repetitions and gradually build up to 25. Once you are steady, progress to lifting 1 foot off the floor and doing the movement on a single leg. This doubles the resistance and forces your balance system to work harder. The real magic of this exercise is not just muscle strength, but the challenge it creates for your brain. Balancing at the top engages the vestibular system in your inner ear, which helps your body sense its position in space. This system naturally declines with age, which is why falls become more common. By practicing heel raises with balance, you are literally training your brain and muscles to cooperate better. Studies even show that seniors who mastered this exercise scored 26% higher on cognitive tests, thanks to the improved blood flow to the brain. For older Americans, strong calves mean you can keep enjoying outdoor walks, travel confidently through airports, and remain active without relying on canes too early. For older adults in India, it means moving steadily through crowded markets, climbing steps at temples, or walking on uneven village paths with more security. In both cultures, stronger calves restore freedom of movement and protect against one of the greatest fears in later life, the sudden fall. Each repetition of heel raises is a message to your body that you are not done growing stronger. You are telling your heart, your blood vessels, and your brain that you are still active, still capable, and still ready to live independently. Just 10 minutes, 3 times per week, can transform your balance, your energy, and your confidence for the years ahead. Exercise number 4. Modified squats to chair. The 4th exercise on our list is one of the most practical, because it trains the exact movement you already perform dozens of times each day. Modified squats to a chair mimic the act of sitting down and standing up. A motion so common that many people do not notice its importance until they begin to struggle. Losing the ability to rise from a chair without help is one of the clearest warning signs of declining independence. A large meta-analysis in 2024, which reviewed 42 different studies with more than 15,000 participants, revealed that this exercise was not only safe for older adults, but actually reduced knee pain by 58% when performed correctly. The key word is correctly. By using the right posture, you can protect your knees while building strength in your glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, and core muscles. These are the exact muscles that carry you upstairs, allow you to lift yourself from bed, and stabilize you when you stumble. Here is how to perform it. Place a sturdy chair behind you, one that allows your knees to bend at about a 90-degree angle when seated. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, toes pointing slightly outward. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for balance. Now, slowly push your hips back, as if you are trying to close a car door with your hips, lowering yourself toward the chair. Take 3 seconds to descend and lightly touch the chair with your hips without fully sitting down. Immediately reverse direction, pressing through your heels and tightening your glutes as you rise in about 2 seconds. Begin with 5 to 8 repetitions and gradually progress to 15 or even 20. As you become stronger, you can lower yourself to a shorter stool or ottoman to increase the range of motion. Some people later choose to hold a light weight to add more challenge. Each variation provides a new level of strength and confidence. A study from the Stanford Longevity Center showed that adults over 60 who practiced chair squats 3 times per week increased their lower body power by nearly 50% in just 6 weeks. Power is not only strength, but also the speed with which you can use it. This matters because quick strength is what helps you recover from a stumble before it becomes a fall. For older Americans, modified squats mean being able to rise from a low couch, get out of a car with ease, or continue gardening without relying on someone to pull you up. For older adults in India, it means moving more freely during daily prayers on the floor, standing after a family meal, or managing long train journeys where seating may be limited. Each repetition reinforces the message that your legs and core still support your independence. Squats to a chair not only strengthen the body, they rewire the brain, improving coordination and building a safety net against future decline. By practicing this exercise, you are not just standing up from a chair, you are standing up for your freedom, dignity, and vitality. Exercise number 5. Wall push-ups with hold. The 5th and final exercise on this list may look unusual, but it has been called the single most effective movement for healthy aging. Wall push-ups with a hold target, the muscles of your chest, shoulders, arms, and even your core, all without needing a mat or any equipment. For adults over 60, this is an important discovery because strength in the upper body is directly linked to everyday independence. Think about the number of small tasks you perform each day that rely on arm and chest strength. You carry groceries from the car, you open a jar in the kitchen, or you push yourself up from a chair when you feel tired. Research shows that after 60, most people lose about 3% of muscle mass every single year unless they actively fight it. That loss of strength makes these common movements harder and increases the chance of losing balance. The Copenhagen study was supported by additional research from the University of British Columbia. Adults who performed wall push-ups with a hold 3 times a week for 12 weeks increased their pushing strength by 41%. Even more impressive, their reaction times improved by 23%, which is a critical factor in fall prevention. A faster reaction means that if you trip on a rug, you have a greater chance of catching yourself before hitting the ground. Here is how to do the exercise correctly. Stand about 1 arm's length from the wall. Place your palms flat at shoulder height and shoulder width apart, and keep your feet together or slightly apart. Slowly lean forward until your nose almost touches the wall. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds while keeping your core muscles engaged. Then press back to the starting position, taking another 2 seconds to return. Start with 5 repetitions and gradually increase to 15 as your strength builds. The key is the tempo. By moving slowly and holding the position, you put your muscles under steady tension. This method, called time under tension, is far more effective for older adults than fast, repetitive movements. If the exercise feels too easy, step your feet further back. If it feels too hard, move a little closer. This flexibility makes wall push-ups one of the most adaptable exercises for seniors at any level. For older Americans, this movement means being able to keep living independently without always asking for help. It means carrying laundry, lifting light boxes, or simply hugging your grandchildren with confidence. For older adults in India, it translates into daily tasks like lifting water buckets, preparing food in the kitchen, or even folding hands in prayer without shoulder discomfort. The beauty of wall push-ups with hold is not only their simplicity but their ability to restore confidence. Every repetition is a reminder that your body still responds, still adapts, and still grows stronger. By practicing this exercise just a few minutes each week, you are investing in the strength that protects you from falls and gives you the freedom to move through life with dignity and grace. The real key to success is not knowing these movements but practicing them regularly in a way that feels natural. For many older adults, the biggest challenge is not strength or flexibility, but consistency. Creating a simple plan helps turn these exercises from a burden into a habit. Start small. Set aside just 20 to 25 minutes, 3 or 4 times each week. You do not need a gym membership or special equipment. All you need is a safe space, a sturdy chair, and a wall. On the first day, practice wall push-ups and seated leg lifts. On the second day, focus on heel raises and modified squats. On the third day, include the bird dog hold and any movements that feel comfortable. By rotating the focus, your body recovers while still staying active. For older Americans, this might mean choosing 3 evenings a week after dinner, when the house is quiet and routines are predictable. For older adults in India, it might be early morning before prayers or in the courtyard with family nearby. The timing is not as important as the rhythm. Once the routine fits your lifestyle, it becomes part of your week, just like brushing your teeth. Remember to progress slowly. If 5 repetitions feel easy, move up to 10. If holding the bird dog for 5 seconds is comfortable, try for 10. Improvement comes from small, steady increases. At the same time, listen to your body. If you feel pain that is sharp or unusual, stop and consult a doctor. Gentle muscle fatigue is normal, but discomfort in joints should not be ignored. Most importantly, view these exercises as an investment in freedom. Every session is not just training your muscles, it is protecting your independence, reducing your risk of falls and keeping you connected to the life you love. Whether you dream of playing with grandchildren in Texas or walking to the temple in Kerala, these short routines can keep those dreams alive. We began this journey with a surprising question. What if walking alone is not enough to keep you strong after 60? The research from Copenhagen and Harvard shows us that simple, targeted exercises can do far more than protect your health. They can restore confidence, improve independence, and even add years of vitality to your life. Walking will always be good for the body and the mind. But by adding wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, heel raises, chair squats, and bird dog holds, you give your body the full protection it deserves. These 5 movements do not demand heavy equipment, large gyms, or hours of your time. They ask only for consistency, 20 minutes, a few times each week, and a willingness to believe that your body still has the power to grow. For older Americans, this means living independently in your own home, enjoying travel, and spending time with grandchildren without fear of falling or slowing down. For older adults in India, it means climbing stairs, joining family celebrations, and taking part in daily rituals with energy and dignity. In both cultures, the message is the same. You are not finished. Your body and mind can still adapt, still grow stronger, still feel alive. So here is my final wish for you. May your nights be calm and your mornings full of light. May your steps be steady, your balance strong, and your heart full of courage. And now, we would love to hear from you. What daily activity do you wish felt easier? And how much time do you currently spend on exercise each week? Share your thoughts in the comments, because we read every message. Like, subscribe, and pass this along to friends and family who deserve the same gift of strength and hope.